the Lord has told us about. So they hurried off, found Mary and Joseph, and the baby was lying in the manger. When they had seen him, they spread the word concerning what they had been told about the child. And all who heard it were amazed at what the shepherds said to them. But Mary, she treasured all these things up in her heart and pondered them in her heart. Then the shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things they had heard and seen, just as they had been told. The angels foretold this information to the shepherds while appearing to them. Now, I don't know about you. If I'm out in the field, sheep taking care of my sheep and all that, and I'm just a shepherd, and and I'm just doing all my shepherd stuff and keeping the lions and tigers and bears away. Oh my, right? We're doing all that. I'm not really focusing on a bunch of angels showing up. And they said, when they talk about a heavenly host of angels, they say that heavenly host of 10,000 angels showed up in the sky. You imagine what that sounded like when they started singing? Like, you want to turn that down a little bit, guys? I don't think so. I think it was beautiful. In Luke chapter 2, that tells the story. The key players are Joseph, Mary, the shepherds, the great company of heavenly hosts, and of course, the baby Jesus. The first thing that happened is Joseph takes Mary on a journey to Bethlehem. Hop up on the donkey like in the video, you know what, in the cart. I don't believe they had golf carts back then. They probably used real donkeys. And on a journey because the census had to be taken, right? And so everybody had to go to their own town to have the census taken. They all had to go. Here the shepherds are all they know is how to handle sheep. It's no wonder that Jesus called them, no wonder how Jesus is called the Good Shepherd. It's no wonder he's called the Good Shepherd, right? Because all he knows how to do is take care of his sheep. Did you get that? All Jesus knows how to do is to take care of his sheep. Bah, right? Every one of you in this room are sheep. You're all sheep. And Jesus has come to take care of us. He's come to take care of us. He's called the Good Shepherd. You see, sheep can hear their master's voice, their shepherd's voice. There could be 10 flocks of sheep in one pen. And the one shepherd walks up to the gate and says, "Come on, guys. Only his sheep are coming." Did you know that? Sure you do, because I've told you this before. Maybe you've forgotten. I'm just reminding you. They know their master's voice. They know their master's voice. No matter what kind of stuff is going on, or they're drawn to his voice because they know what it sounds like. Even in the midst of the craziness of life, they know what his voice sounds like. Oh, there's some spiritual stuff that goes with that, isn't there? We can be trained to hear our shepherd's voice, amen? We can be trained to hear our shepherd's voice. We can follow the shepherd's voice, and we can come to the understanding, hear this one, that there is safety with the shepherd. There is safety within the shepherd. A lot of people say, well, I don't understand why my life is so bad. I'm a Christian and blah, blah, blah. Are you really? Can you hear the shepherd's voice? Do you know what it sounds like? Are you in that helm of safety with the shepherd? Are you there? This is all prophesied long before in the book of Isaiah chapter 9. Nevertheless, there will be no more gloom for all those who are in distress. In the past, he humbled the land of Zebulun, the land of Naphtali. But in the future, he will honor Galilee of the nations by the way of the sea beyond the Jordan. It says in verse 2, it says, the people walking in darkness have seen a great light. All those living in the land of the deep darkness, a light has dawned. You have enlarged the nation and increased their joy. They rejoice before you. As people rejoiced at the harvest, as warriors rejoice in the divided plunder. For as in the day of Midian, defeated you, has shattered the yoke that burdened them, the bar across their shoulder, the rod of their oppressor, every warrior's boots used in battle, and every garment rolled in blood. For it will be destined for burning, will be fuel for the fire. It goes on to verse 6, and now verse 6 is where it kicks off. It says this, for unto us a child is born. To us a son is given, and the government will rest on his shoulder. And he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the greatness of his government and peace there will be no end. He will reign on David's throne and over his kingdom, establishing and upholding it with justice, righteousness, and from that time on and forever. The zeal of the Lord Almighty will accomplish this. We call it good news of the gospel. Jesus is coming for each and every one of us. He has come. Emmanuel means God with us, doesn't it? Emmanuel means God with us. God with us. I don't have this thing on. That's why it isn't moving. I already told you all that stuff. It's the Sunday before Christmas. Hope you got all your Christmas shopping done. You did? Okay, good. I'm a size 7-day cruise, so if you wanted to know what size I am. A size 7-day cruise, Elizabeth, so you got that taken care of, right? You might want to talk to your dad to have that taken care of for me. He's got all the money. We can celebrate Christmas because of those of us that have chosen to follow Christ with our whole heart, understand that he is the reason for the season, amen? Let me get over all this stuff. Afton, help me out. I'm through all this stuff. I don't know. Sure, that's a good spot. That's a good spot to start. Again, we call it the good news. We can celebrate Christmas because of those who have chosen to follow Christ. He is the reason for this. Love come down to rescue us from sin and death. It's told that he would sit on David's throne. This correlates with them going to Bethlehem, the city of David, where he was given to us the way before it was going to happen. So where we see the last Sunday of Advent coming into play, love is the perfect face. Get this. Love is the perfect face of Mary. Listen to this. It's the perfect face of Mary looking down at the baby Jesus. I remember when we had Tommy. Well, we didn't have Tommy, but Brooke had Tommy. And I remember being there. And I remember the first time they put that little guy in my arms. And I looked down on that face. And I'll tell you what, he could have asked me for the moon and I'd have jumped up to get it for him. The love that you feel for your child. Think about that. The first time you hold that baby in your hands and you look down and you go, oh my, I don't know what this feels. This is crazy. What is this feeling? And this is what Mary was. Mary looked down. And not only was she looking down on the face of a baby, she was looking down on the face of Jesus himself, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. This baby was special. This baby was special. Love is the perfect face of Mary's little boy. She brought us the light of the world on that first Christmas morning and gave him the name that is above all names. Above all names. And his love is described to us in chapter 13 of the book of Corinthians. I'm just going to skip down to verse 4. His love is patient. Love is kind. It doesn't envy. It does not boast. It's not proud. It doesn't dishonor others. It's not self-seeking. It's not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrong. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. Love never fails. Love never fails. Let's skip all the way down to verse 13. It says, and now these three things remain, faith, hope, and love. He says, but the greatest of these things is love. I don't know about you, but I've been watching, and I probably shouldn't be watching this stuff, but I've been watching some of the impeachment stuff and all that, and And I think to myself, where's the love? Where's the hope? Where's Jesus? Where's God in all of this? And don't you think we just need to love each other? Care for each other? Look at this. Love is a distinct characteristic of Jesus. It's a distinct characteristic of Jesus. All throughout the Bible, it shows where he has compassion on people that seek him. And we also remember John 3:16, right? For God so loved the world. Really, believe it or not, that's the first real Christmas story. For God so loved the world that he sent his one and only Son, Jesus, to this world. Everybody who believes in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Everlasting life. I'm going to ask the girls to come up. Girls, if you'd come up. Kat. Katrina. For God so loved the world. So when Tina Turner sang the song, what's love got to do with it? I say love had everything to do with it. Love had everything to do with it. This Christmas season, we need to remember that Jesus didn't come to earth for the presence of the Magi. He didn't come for the presence of the Magi. He came that we may have true life and true love and experience all that through the presence of that baby in the manger. God Emmanuel. God Emmanuel. Shut that off. Listen to this next song. Starlight shines, the night is still. Shepherds watch from a hill. I close my eyes and see the night when love was born.
Perfect child gently waits, a mother bends to kiss God's face. I close my eyes and see the night when love was born. Angels fill the midnight sky. They sing, Hallelujah, He is Christ, our King. Emmanuel, Prince of Peace, love come down for you and me. Heaven's gift, the holy spark to light the way inside our hearts. Bethlehem, through your small door came the hope we've waited for. The world was changed forevermore when love was born. I close my eyes and see the night when love was born.
Well, Megan, do you want to come up? Tyler will be right back. You think he ran? Marcus, you got to come up too, buddy? Yeah. Happy birthday, buddy. Happy birthday. To you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear. I was going to say your name. Day to you. Come on, buddy. You have to fix your mic. I asked Tyler and Megan, for those of you who don't know, you just take it off, that's a better idea. For those of you who don't know that Tyler and Megan, they've just had a baby a couple of weeks ago, and he was born at 31 weeks.
Check. It's a habit.
Really?
It's a habit, I swear. It's a habit.
I thought you were putting me in check. I was like, okay. Born at 31 weeks and 2 days. He was born 3 pounds, 11 ounces, and 16 inches long. And he's down in Indianapolis right now. And the church, this church, their church, has rallied around them. And I just wanted Tyler, maybe you guys could share a little bit about what the church has meant to you guys. And
for sure. The first thing I want to do is just thank everybody, seriously. Like, this means so much to us. You have no idea how much this means. Like, and it's funny because when Pastor Tom, he was saying, oh, we're going to pick a family for, you know, for the, to get them something for Christmas. And it just, you know, God knew. He knew. He said, that's them. It'll be them. So I seriously thank you, all of you. Thank you very, very much for all your love, your support, all your thoughts, prayers. It means so much to us. You have no idea. Thank you very, very much. So I kind of want to start with just how this all began. So normal day at work, like always.
I'll just sit back, Tyler. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. Okay, so we were at work and, you know, just minding my own business, doing my job, you know, and then I got a page. And it's just, you know, it's one of them pages you never, ever want to hear. I wasn't expecting it to be today, so, or that day, I should say. And they said, oh, you have a phone call. I said, okay, I usually don't get a phone call, you know, and we were joking around, my coworkers. They're like, oh, you got in trouble, you know. So, you know, I was like, okay. So I picked it up and it was Megan. I'm like, okay, so what's going on, you know? And she said, well, we got to go to the hospital. What are you talking about, you know? And she said that, you know, she was having contractions and stuff. So I'm like, oh, no, okay. So I left that day, and her bosses drove her car, and who was it? You had 2 bosses, right? That drove you home. And then I rushed her, you know, as fast as I could to Winchester. And when we got there, they told her she's 3 centimeters dilated already. So my heart sunk, and I'm like, so we told the doctor, you're telling me we're gonna have him today? And he's like, well, you know, not necessarily. We're gonna try to stop the contractions, you know. So they got her on some medicine, which was the magnesium sulfate, which did stop the contractions for a period of time. But then, you know, as time was going, you know, that day she was progressing, so she went to 4, and I'm like, oh man, here we go, you know. And so they told us that she had to be flown to Indy. I was a wreck, like seriously. It was hard, you know.
It's okay, buddy.
Just, you know, as early as this was, you know, I knew it wasn't going to be easy. And she was getting flown. I couldn't go with them. So I drove home. I ran around. I was a mess. You know, I couldn't find a bag. Didn't have nothing packed. Didn't have anything ready. at all. So it was very, very hard. And I drove up there, and they had told her that she's at 5 centimeters then. I'm like, wow, you know, and then the doctor told us that, well, basically when we leave, or when we leave there, she won't be pregnant. So I just assumed, you know, with it being early, I just figured, you know, with stories I've heard, it would be harder than what I thought, you know. And that Saturday, because this was on Wednesday, so we stayed there 3 days. She was doing just fine. You know, they stopped her contractions so long. And I left Saturday morning. And I went back home. And obviously, you know, I left the kids with my mom, so I went and spent some time with them. But then she called me, and she said that she was 7 centimeters dilated, and they were taking her to the delivery room. When I heard that, you know, I'm still in Portland, so it's going to take me an hour and a half to get there. And as I was driving, a nurse called me and said that he was born. So I was still 40 minutes away from them, so I wasn't even there. I think that was one of the hardest parts, though. Because I was there for the other two. And I feel bad, but I'm blessed, you know. Everything went good. And they said he came out 3 pounds, 11 ounces. And I'm thinking 3 pounds compared to 6 pounds. Them two, they were both 6 pounds. I mean, my hand was bigger than he was. And his head, I mean, up to there, I mean, it wasn't very big. So when I got there, you know, my mind, I couldn't even tell you what I was feeling. I just wanted everything to be okay, you know, like any parent would. And when I finally got there, you know, it was just me and him. And he was in the incubator. And I sat there, you know, and I folded my hands. And I looked at him through the glass. I couldn't hold him. It was so hard.
Daddy.
But I looked up at the heavens. I said, thank you, God. Thank you so much for this blessing, this little boy. I said, thank you so much. I'm glad everything was okay with him. You know, he had to be on the, what was it, the CPAP, the tube to help him breathe. And he had all his IV, he had IV in, and they were just monitoring him, and it's just different. It was not what I expected. And after, you know, it was all said and done, you know, after a while, I got better, you know, knowing that he's doing good and he's eating better now. And, well, I mean, they're still feeding him through a tube, and he's not on the bottle feeds yet, but, you know, he's getting there. And so, I mean, he's 2 weeks old now. He's doing really well. You know, for a while, you know, I worried about him, but, you know, with the great nurses they have there in Indy, and, you know, I left my son there, you know, knowing that he's in good care, he's in good hands. And I know he always is, so. But seriously, everybody, thank you so much for all your prayers. Because the power of prayer, I'm telling you, I believe now. I believe. I really, really do. So thank you very much.
Megan?
No, seriously, thank you guys for everything. it has been really tough the last 2 weeks. So your prayers and everything has been very appreciated. And just going through everything, it really showed me how tough I am. Because I had to go through with all that without medicine. So definitely showed me how strong of a person I am. But he's doing really good. I'm doing good. So can't really complain about anything. So, but thank you guys. I actually got an update yesterday, and he's officially 4 pounds. So he is growing, which is good. And he's starting to have cues of wanting to eat out of the bottle. So that's really good. But they still have the feeding tube in because he's just not completely there yet. But really, once he gains a little bit more weight and he gets the feeding down, then hopefully we can kind of bring him home. So that's the goal. So, but the kids haven't been able to go see him, so they haven't seen him at all because of it with being flu season and RSV season too. But I'm sure they're excited to see him when we bring him home. So, yeah, everything's going good. And Tyler's been really great with the support that he's been giving me, because he's been with me since then, since that Wednesday, so it's going to be weird when he goes back to work. But I appreciate it, so thank you guys.
We talked about love this morning, you know, and how important it is to love each other. And as a church body, how important it is to just come together, isn't it? And to love. And to love. And this happened with Tyler and Megan, and like Tyler said, we were thinking about, you know, what family we were going to adopt and all this stuff like that. And I think it was Cheryl come in and says, "Why not Tyler and Megan?" I'm like, "Why not Tyler and Megan?" Huh? You guys were somewhere. Yeah, but I guess mentioned them, and I thought, why not? They're part of our family. They're part of our family, and so we've had an outpouring of love from you guys in the church. And you know, the thing about it is, being in the hospital, and they didn't plan on doing this, obviously, they couldn't get Christmas for the kids. And that broke my heart. Because every kid needs Christmas. Every kid needs Christmas. So we rallied around Tyler and Megan, and maybe we rallied too hard. I took a picture of us this morning. I said, send it to Tyler and said, "Can you get it in your car?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'll get it in there." All right, Tim the Toolman Taylor. We'll see how you do that. But do you understand what love means? What love really means? We had a broken family. Didn't know what they were going to do. And you, as the body of Christ, rallied around them and loved them. And I will let you know right now, not only do I appreciate it, but the Lord looks down and He smiles upon you, because it's the greatest gift of all that you can give to others, and show love and compassion. So thank you guys for doing that. I'm going to thank you also for Tyler and Megan. For the first couple of days, I think I called Tyler 100 times. But they can open their little presents. I'm not going to open all those presents. I'd have to clean it up. I'm not going to clean up that mess. What's that, Tyler? Yeah, I called him a lot because, you know, he's kind of like one of my kids. The Tyler, he's the Tyler he's a Tyler from another mother, I guess. I don't know. But, because I have a Tyler. But I've kind of taken Tyler and Megan under my wing and just kind of like, I've not fathered them a little bit, not mothered them, but fathered them. And I love them. They're part of our family. And don't worry, the music will be back. You won't have to put up with me much longer. Right? John, stop it. But you're right, amen. So Tyler and the band will be back January 4th, right? Yeah. Beginning of the year. And yeah, so Not only is he part of our family, he's part of our ministry here. So what a wonderful thing. Tyler, I'm going to pray. Hey, kids, open up your presents.
Okay, open them.
Open up your presents. Rip it, rip it. Come on, Aaliyah, beat Marcus. Throw it all over the floor. Paw Patrol. 4 of them, actually. Can I hold it? I'll just hold on to this one for you. It's Rubble. It's one of my favorites. I mean, here, Marcus. Yeah. If you still want to give to them or donate to them, whatever, they got gas back and forth and all that stuff. You're welcome to do that. You can do it online if you want to do it that way. But let's pray for them as we stand, and we'll close out our service. Kenny, can I have you come up? Margaret, will you come up? Gail, Sheila. Some of you guys that are on the board, some of you come on up here and let's lay hands on them and let's pray for them. And come on up, buddy. Those of you from the worship, come on up. Michelle, Kat, come up. And guys, Dad, come up. Let's just lay hands on them and ask the Lord to help them. Judy, yeah. Kim, you want to come up? Lay hands on these guys. Afton, Kevin. Anybody else want to come and pray with them? Come on up. Come on. You don't have to have permission. God gives you permission to come up and pray, right?
Bring the whole church up. When you get done praying, can I stay up here with you?
We're going to be all done. We'll be done with our service.
We're about done.
Yeah. Tyler, I don't know if you look around, but look at all this love you have. You are a loved man. You and Megan are loved.
That's okay. He always wanted that.
You did?
All his life.
All of his life? I get it. I get it. Randy, you want to pray? Thanks.
Father, thank you so much for this family. Thank you for our church, the love and support. Watch over the little child. Your family. Our work. Get through the holiday. We're thankful of all.
You are dismissed. God bless.